Hello and welcome to the Critically Clueless. I'm Monk, and today we are taking a look at Few Nights More. Now, the devs actually reached out to me and asked me to do a review for this game when it is finally released. The full copy is released in a couple of months, so I figured I'd dig in and have a little play early just to see, where the game currently is in its current state. Now, I've been promised that there's going to be a few decent changes and upgrades when this is finally released later. I believe it is in October. But I've been digging into it, having a few rounds, and just seeing what this game is basically about. I kind of like what's happening so far. You play as the vampires or a vampire lord. Really love that. Love vampires in general, and it's got turn-based combat. Now, I'm a huge fan of turn-based. Anyone that's familiar with the Critically Clueless and this channel, you know that I play a ton of turn-based combat games. This is a very simple game, and it's definitely done by indie devs. It's a low budget, but what I've played so far is a lot of fun. It may be simple, but it's a lot of fun. At the end of the day, if you pick up a game, that's what you want from a game. You want it to be fun, you want it to be enjoyable, and you want to be able to want to play more. And that's exactly what this game seems to deliver so far. One of the best aspects about this game that I like is the fact that the longer you last, the more experience you earn, and the more experience you earn, the more fights you win, the more gizmos you kind of unlock for your main character. Now, I love that fact. I love the fact that you can kind of level up. It's got these RPG mechanics where you can get different abilities, to take down these foes that keep entering your castle. How dare they? After all, you're trying to get your immortal sleep on. Now, at the moment, it appears that there's only 4 playable characters, but I'm hoping that when this game finally releases, it looks like they're going to be bringing in a few more people. I do like the 4 that they already have in the game currently. They are very different. They play slightly differently as well, so I'm enjoying that aspect. This game apparently is only on Steam. It's only on PC, unfortunately. I would love to see this on more consoles, maybe a Switch. I think that it's one of those. I think it's a really nice, easy, small, lightweight game where it would work on those other platforms. Now, obviously, this isn't a review, and I'm not going to go about it as a review. Like I said, this is just my first thoughts, my first impressions of this game. So far, it's really enjoyable. As you just saw, I just won a battle, and so after I've won a battle, I get to, kind of go through a few different awards. Then I got to pick a perk. Now I get to pick a brand new skill as well, and there's different skills here where you can buff yourself or drain other people, that kind of thing. I love the fact that this is one of those games where you really get to grow as a character. I don't know about you guys, but I really like it when I see progress in my character, then building them, unlocking new abilities and new powers. And here you can see that I get to choose a brand new room. Now, this is my castle, and I can fit the different rooms as I unlock them. The further I go through the game, the more different room types I get to unlock. Basically, the general idea is that you need to defend your castle. If they get to you, if they're bad guys, or these guys make it to your coffin, that's when you're going to be having these battles. Now, you are a very, very powerful vampire lord. However, too many fights and eventually you're going to get wounded. Eventually, your health bar is going to be whittled down, and eventually you're going to die. The whole point of this game is to extend that for as long as possible. As the name of the game suggests, few nights more. You want more nights. The more nights you spend in this game, the further through it you are potentially getting. When you have got, for instance, a torture room or a library or something like that set down, you can then get your minions and your traps in those rooms. So that way, if these new invaders come into the castle and happen to wander in those brandly made brand new rooms, they then have to fight the minions in there. They then have to, go around the traps and stuff like that. I love that fact. I think it's pretty cool. I like the fact that it gives you the ability, like an extra thing to think about tactically wise. I noticed you can also merge your minions. So for instance, let's say you have 3 skeletons, you can kind of stack the 3 skeletons and that will merge into an extra brand new minion. So again, another thing I quite like is a bit, nice and varied. I think the tactics in this game are, again, like I said, a little bit simple, but I like it. I love the fact that there are different elements to kind of study and look at. And above all, this game just is very enjoyable to play so far. Again, I was on the PC with this game. This is a PC only game, and it works absolutely intended. It had no bugs, no crashes, no dashboarding or freezing or anything like that. It seemed to work absolutely perfectly, which was really nice to see. I'd like to see a little bit more voice acting in this game. From what I can tell, the only real voice acting is right at the beginning of this game. And it's a nice little story. Basically just tells you what this game's about, the premise of it, and gets you in the mood. But I'd love to see more of that, kind of popped into this game. Maybe in between every single, round or every single night. If you survive the night, you go into the night 2. Maybe the game could be telling you a story about what happens next, about, your thoughts or something like that. I don't know. I think it would be a nice touch, and when this game does finally release in full access release in a couple of months, I'd love to see a little bit more of that, because I really think that voice acting, cutscenes, whatever it is in games, really help bring the games to life and help getting the just more of a varied audience rather than your patient guys that are just going through it for fun. There we go, guys. This is my thoughts on A Few Nights More. Currently, the way it is, it's worth a go. It's currently on Steam. It's cheap as chips. Pick it up, play it. Let me know what you think of this game. If this is a game that you've already played or a game that you're about to play, let me know your thoughts and your experiences so far, because I'd be very interested to see if you guys are enjoying it just as much as me. And again, let me know down in the comments what your hopes are for when this goes full release, the small improvements that you'd want to see happen. And of course, if you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Honestly, it's the best way to support this channel, and every sub and like means so much. For a big thank you if you do decide to hit that button. But until next time, I've been the Monk, we've been Critically Clueless, and I will see you in the next video real soon. Until then, take it easy, and of course, happy gaming.
Beings to exist and the dominant race on the planet. A civil war that nearly destroyed us. The world was never the same again. In the wake of our ongoing self-destruction, others gained more strength, power, and influence. The time for our vengeance is now. We have to rebuild and claim what's rightfully ours.